Hey guys, it's Dark Architect 18 back here with another YouTube video, and today we are doing the BA Tirpitz review video. So before I get into that, I just want to say I do ship reviews, dev strike videos, and much more. So before I start, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you like the content in the video, then make sure to hit that notification bell to stay tuned to all my future videos. And now it's time to get to it. So we're going to break down the commander, the stats, the armor viewer, and then get on to the gameplay, and then give an overall analysis of how I played with the BA Tirpitz and how it compares to the other Tirpitz and Bismarck. So, commander, we have Izuyoi Nanonomi. So we have a skill of not one for nuisance. Then we have highly educated crew, punishment time, properly meticulous, and secondary interest. Then for our base trait, we have squeaky clean sweep. So we have the secondary battery reload time decreased and the damage against battleships is increased. So pretty good skills, all secondaries right there. Then we have Azerlane Bismarck, secondary battery reload time decreased, secondary battery dispersion decreased as well. And then for Franz von Hipper, which is our next inspiration, he is going to help with the secondary gun range, which is increased, and the secondary battery shell grouping is increased as well. So those are all secondary enhanced skills, commanders, and inspirations. So it's very well fitting for this ship. So we're going to look at the mods now. So we got secondary battery mod 2 in the first slot. Then we have damage control system mod 2 in the second slot. In the third slot, we have concealment system mod 1. And we finally have secondary battery mod 3 in the last slot. So, and our consumable is a secondary enhanced targeting second. So we got minus 25% for the secondary battery reload time, plus 50% for the secondary battery shell grouping, and minus 25% for the secondary battery dispersion. So it's a really good consumable. It lasts for 36 seconds. Reload time is about 2 minutes, just shy of it, and you get 5 consumables. Now for the stats, we have survivability of 87 out of 100, so 72,500 HP, 19 to 360 millimeters armor, 28% torpedo damage reduction. Artillery is 87 out of 100, so 4x2, 380 millimeter guns, 16.7 kilometer firing range, 26 second reload time, 30 second 180 degree turn time. Then we have 4,400 max HE shell damage, 34% fire setting chance, 11,600 maximum AP shell damage. Secondaries, 8x2 105 millimeter guns, 10.9 kilometer firing range, 2.7 second reload time, 1,200 maximum HE shell damage, and a 5% fire setting chance. And we got 6x2 150 millimeter guns, 10.9 kilometer firing range, 4 second reload time, 1,700 maximum HE shell damage, and an 8% fire setting chance. Torpedoes, we have 32 out of 100, so this is the biggest difference for this ship. So you got 2x4 533 millimeter guns, 80 second reload time, 7.2 second reload for the torpedo racks. Then 13,700 maximum AP damage, or 13,000 maximum damage for the torpedoes, and then 1.3 kilometer torpedo detectability, 9 kilometer torp range, and 68 knot torp speed. AA defense, we have 12x1 20 millimeter guns, 36 average damage per second, 2 kilometer firing range, 8x4 20 millimeter guns, 48 average damage per second, 2 kilometer firing range, 8x2 37 millimeter guns, 21 average damage per second, 3.5 kilometer range, 8x2 105 millimeter guns, 134 average damage per second with a 4.5 kilometer range. Concealment or maneuverability, we have a 31 knot max speed, 850 meter turning circle radius, and a 16 second rudder shift time. Concealment, we are setting at a 12.9 kilometer detectability by sea, 2 kilometer guaranteed, and the others are increased for the while firing at smoke and the other one. So now we're going to get into the actual armor. So I'm going to show you the Citadel. That's the Citadel location, so it's slightly above the water line. with the BA Tirpitz, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Now we're going to show you the deck armor. So we got 50 millimeter for the deck and 120 for the side plating for that part of the ship. And then we're going to show you the deck armor for the front and the rear of the ship and the sides. So also the torpedo protection's 25 millimeter. Good thing to note is the deck is 32 for the front and the rear of the ship, and the side plating is 32 millimeter as well, so it can bounce 16-inch guns on the front. And yeah, the only thing that is a downside with the German ships is being susceptible to HE fire spam. So with the BA Tirpitz, we got secondary reach, ironclad, and it's tough, so it's really fitting for the secondary build, the tank build, and torpedoes as well. So you're going to see that in this battle. So just wanted to break that down, but we are starting at the top side of B on this map. So we are going to follow the team. I'm going to go towards the A cap and keep at it. So we got also a couple buddies in the game. It was Doug Dimmadome, and I think there was one other guy from the fleet that's in here. So good players. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. We're going to see how this performs. But I guess the biggest difference overall you're going to notice with the BA Tirpitz is that it has 3 kilometers more range for the torpedoes minimum, and 4 knots faster torpedoes compared to the original Tirpitz. So you can definitely get that even higher than those 2 differences that I just said for the torpedo range and the speed. You can get the range up to, I think, 10.5 kilometers, and the speed you can get that up to 73 or 74 knots. Obviously that's with Space Fishy as an inspiration, and using, I think, Elaine Scharnhorst with the torpedo skill. So I was playing around with that. I thought that was interesting, but this build that I showed you at the beginning of the battle was more successful that I found. But there are other builds that other people may use that they find better than this. So, you know, no worries on that. But there's things that work better for other people than, you know, the one build that maybe I have, and they enjoy it more. So anyways, so we're going to keep heading over to the A cap. So we got also Mr. Solo in here. So it's Mr. Solo, Doug Dimmadome, and myself in here. And we're going to make our way towards the A cap and try to cause some disruption to the enemy team. Let's see what we got over here. I might turn around towards B because that's where the rest of my division is, but we're going to at least, in theory, come over to A and probably go towards B just because of where the team is located and which side of the flank actually needs help. So that's always a good thing to look at, is your map, and always understanding where you're needed and helping your team out whenever and in whatever way you need to, which is going to vary based on whatever game. So so you see that right there, 10.9 kilometer secondaries. We got 9 kilometer torpedo range, and we got 68 knot torps. So we definitely can really get in there closer to the enemy and really bully them as a British battleship, or not British, German battleship, excuse me. Not British, German. That's funny. So we're going to just keep going up and try to push this Wichita out. And he is just going to keep pushing up, oblivious to everything else around him. And he is going to actually target Doug Dimmadome and try to take him out. Doug's in the San Diego, and he's going to be bullied by this Wichita, which he's actually complaining about during the battle, which is pretty, I mean, funny in the sense that he is getting attacked randomly by a Wichita, and the Wichita is focusing him instead of me. But that's just the tunnel vision, again, idea that this Wichita is focusing Doug instead of me. But I'm going to just roll up in there and try to take out this Wichita and distract him, which it's not going to distract him. It's going to more just cause him pain because he's closer to death. But yeah, he's definitely not going to get out of there in one piece, this Wichita. So Doug's out of there. He's definitely disappointed about that, but I'm going to avenge him and take out this Wichita instead. And we're going to push up and secure this. Doing pretty good on the game so far. Definitely racking up those secondaries. You're seeing that accuracy with that, which I just used the secondary enhanced targeting acquisition consumable. So that's a pretty good consumable. I definitely feel that the secondaries on this build are more accurate. They are tighter in terms of dispersion. They are better in terms of shell grouping. They're better in terms of reload. So we are doing full secondaries in terms of enhancing them. This build is definitely a really solid build to use on this ship. On the regular Tirpitz, I run more of a accuracy build with my main guns because, one, the secondaries do not go out to 9 or 10 kilometers on the regular Tirpitz, and it's not very accurate on the regular Tirpitz, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to build into the secondaries. Makes more sense to build in the main guns because that's where most of your damage is, because you're getting anywhere between 11,800 and probably 14,000 AP damage, depending on your build. But that's just how I play, and that makes no sense to how the ship functions compared to the BA Tirpitz, where it's completely the flip side with its secondaries, which makes it more of a, I would say, more fun build and more fun to play ship because of just the secondaries and trying to, I guess, harass the enemy overall. So we're going to push back. We're noticing that the Missouri is going to be pushing up, and so is this Carl Johann. So he is going to push up as well. So we're going to back up, try to get these secondaries rolling because they're going to be closing in on the range, which is 11 or 10.9. So he is just over 11 kilometers out, so he's going to be closing in on that range. And we're backing up because we got 2 or 3 enemies over there, so we're helping out the C cap. We're situated in the B cap, and the rest of the team is making their way towards the B cap. I think Bismarck's all the way in the back of the map. He is going to be rolling around towards the front later on in the game, but you definitely don't want to play the Bismarck at range like this guy is, because 1, the turtleback doesn't work at range, and 2, your secondaries aren't going to be going off because you don't have the range for that, and because it just doesn't make a lot of sense to not really support your team. So it's not really fitting how he's playing that, but it's just things like that you got to really understand and be aware of during your battle and try to capitalize on that kind of thing. And sometimes you can't capitalize on things like that, those mistakes of other people, and you learn that from your battle and you take that to the next battle and you're like, okay, well, I didn't do this right, so this situation comes up again, I'm going to do this instead of playing it maybe as passively or maybe as unaware as previously, you know, in that situation you might have been in. So we got the Tirpitz is gonna, in this battle, you know, we done a lot of good things with the secondaries, but we are really going to try to take out this Georgia W, the Missouri, and the other cruiser up here. We're going to take those out with the torpedoes. We're going to send a set, but that's going to be after I use the consumable. And you see the secondary interest legendary skill is up, so the dispersion, the reload, all of that's really enhanced, and that is whenever you have an ally close to you, so that's going to be really useful. Assuming you're pushing up with the team, and in this case I am, so it's going to be nice. So we're going to keep bullying this Missouri. We got our secondaries locked on him. We're going to back up a little bit. We're going to get maybe a torpedo or two on him. So pretty good battle so far. We're at 62,000 damage. We got over 100 secondary hits. We got some fires. We got a kill on the Wichita, and we got some floods and torpedoes going off. So pretty good battle. We just got another kill right there. We're definitely racking up the damage now. So we got the Carl Johan pushing out. He is going to try to come around. I'm gonna move forward, try to get some shots on him. Those shots didn't line up, so I wasn't further back enough, and the rocks were just kind of right there in the way, so wasn't a lot I could do from that. And because my build isn't really an accuracy build, my shots for my main guns are definitely going to suffer, so it's not going to work out in that. But I'm also going to put the time codes for the commander, the stats, the armor viewer, and the gameplay. So if you want to jump around, whether looking at the commander or the stats or the armor viewer, or just starting out with the gameplay, I'll put that in the description for the video, so you can jump around wherever you want to. Because maybe you're just looking at the gameplay, or maybe you want to see my stats for the ship based on my build. So be my guest on taking a look at that if you wish. And we're going to push this Carl Johan back. We're going to get our secondaries trained on him, and we are going to turn in. We're going to shoot torps out in front. You're going to see they are definitely faster than the normal Tirpitz torpedoes, and the range is further, which is a very nice thing. So you're going to notice the Carl Johan is going to be pushing out straight into these torpedoes. That's why I led my torpedoes right there, just in front of the ship, so that if he does, speed up for whatever reason, then I can get some torpedoes off. So we got one right there. He just missed the second one, but I finish him off, and we get a high caliber right there. We are at 3 kills, 135,000 damage. Pretty good game. We got the Tirpitz pushing back up a little late in the game, but he's going to try to make a difference in this battle. But we're going to see that it's definitely a bit later, and he could have pushed up later. But his health is, decent, considering we only have, like 2 minutes left for the battle. So we are wrapping the battle up pretty good with the BA Tirpitz. I definitely thought this battle was a good representation of what you can do with the BA Tirpitz, given its inherent advantages and disadvantages. So its advantages are its secondaries, its torpedoes, and just being, a German battleship overall. It can take a lot of damage from ships, but not so much from HE fire spam. So you're going to take that into account. But its disadvantages are its main gun accuracy with this build. So you do not get any satisfaction from the main guns in terms of its accuracy. You really suffer for that. So that's just how things work like that. And you got to take the most you can from the advantages, and sometimes you got to take some hits for the disadvantages of the ship. So we got the Tashkent. He is trying to be more of a flanker right now, destroyer, and tried to take out some of the other ships over by the sea cap. So I'm going to send torpedoes over there, assuming he keeps going that way, and we're going to just try to push this Bismarck off to the right, as I saw him go to the right side over by A, and we're going to try to take him out before we finish up this game. But anyways, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to stay tuned to the next video. And yeah, this really good video, really good review of the Tirpitz, and just comparing it to the regular Tirpitz as well. So you're gonna see the secondary interest comes on, so the Tashkent comes back out, which isn't smart. So he is going to really not play this well. So we're going to get him at the end, and we get a close quarters and end up with 142,000 damage, high caliber, and we end up with a really solid game in the BA Tirpitz. So we're going to end up with that, and towards the top, 2400 XP with 400,000 silver. Yeah, so this is Dark Architect 18. I'm out. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And yeah, thanks everybody. Peace. Bye.